Do my early childhood experiences really play a role in who I am as an adult? This is Yolanda Renteria. I'm a trauma therapist and I'm here to provide psychoeducation and explain why who you are makes sense. One of the questions that I often get asked is if really our childhood experiences impact who we are as an adult. A lot of people feel like this is actually just an excuse so that people don't have to change. And that could not be farther from the truth, because although our childhood can give us a lot of insight on how we were wired early on, it doesn't excuse anyone from looking for help to change behaviors that are harmful to themselves or other people. So I want to explain a little bit about how we actually wire when we're young. So one of the things that I want people to understand is that humans are wired to do two things. One, survive. And survival is there's nothing that matters more to a human being than surviving in the world. The second one is connection. Connection is so important because our survival actually depends on connection. If you really think about it, when we're babies, there's no way to survive without being connected in some way to other people. Now, what happens is that in early development, our brain is wiring, and this is so crucial, and it's something that doesn't happen the same way in adulthood. And this is why our childhood experiences matter so much. When we're wiring, thousands, billions of neurons are firing when we're babies. So when we're born, our body and our brain actually want to understand how safe the world is for us. What our body does, it assesses our environment and kind of looks out for things that are painful to try to avoid them. These are our most basic wiring, right? Our brain and our body are actually trying to make sense of the world and whether the world is a safe place or not a safe place for us. Our interpretation of what is safe and what isn't safe is different, right? But our body usually looks out for sources of pain. So when you think of pain, it can be emotional pain, it can be psychological, or it can be physical pain. The moment that our body assesses that or determines that something is painful, what it wants to do is it wants to adapt so that thing that is causing us pain isn't as painful. So what is happening is that our early experiences are determining what is safe, what is unsafe, what is painful, and what isn't. And a lot of the times, what we find is that things are painful in relation to our relationships or maybe our environment too. So as we're developing from 0 to 6, about 90% of our brain develops, meaning we're creating all of these connections in our brain that tell us this is safe, this is unsafe. And these kind of become our automatic reactions so that we don't have to be thinking about them all of the time, right? From age 6 to 25, the other 10% of our brain develops. This does not mean that we stop, that there's no way that we can change after this. What this just means is that we created a template, okay, that we access automatically. And when we show up in relationships or in life or even with ourselves, this is our automatic template. This is the template that we go to. This is our early wiring. Now, what happens is that a lot of the times we feel like, okay, we're adult now, that my family was that way when I grew up, but now I am this way and I can be this way with other people. And although, yes, we do have the choice to be different in relationship to other people than we were with our family of origin or in our environment, what happens a lot is that we have developed adaptations to the world, to our environment, and they just don't poof, disappear, right? Just because we're adult. What happens is that we now develop what we call like triggers around this. So maybe things that in the past caused pain, now in our current relationships, we are noticing that we automatically react in ways that we sometimes cannot make sense or understand. So anyway, I hope this gives you some insight. Obviously, there's so much more to it, but I just want you to understand why our childhood creates like such a big impact in who we are. And the more that we understand it, the more we can wire new or make new connections and rewire our brain through a process called neuroplasticity. And actually, this is what makes it possible so that we can create change. But it's hard to change or make changes to who we are if our body is constantly telling us that what we're trying to do is not safe because it was not in the past. So please hit subscribe. I'm going to be releasing a video every Sunday. Hopefully you get more insight and understanding on your own automatic reactions. And please know that it doesn't matter what's showing up for you. Anything that you notice with your behavior, your reactions, and your actions, and your thoughts and your feelings makes sense in the context of your life experiences. Take care and see you next time.